So with the new sort of mini DLC update in GTA Online finally out and available to play, for this video I will be discussing the new Guzman Flies Again missions, just really breaking them down, showing you guys what to expect. I will be playing them completely solo as well, and yes, they can be done solo, so that is always really nice news. And without any further ado, let's get into how you can start playing these missions and more. To start, you will have to go over to the Mazebank Foreclosures website and purchase the Mackenzie Field Hangar for just under $1.5 million. Similar to the Daniel Bros Garment Factory, this will come included with a sleeping quarters, so you will be able to set your spawn location to here. The moment you guys arrive at this field hangar, you will get hit with this cutscene, pretty much just introducing you to Oscar Guzman and giving you guys a brief breakdown of how this all works. The moment the cutscene finishes, you can then log on to this computer and begin the first setup. This first setup mission will have you guys sabotaging a tower. This was honestly pretty cool just seeing this all happen. Once this was done, you then had to follow a cargo plane, shooting it when you guys can, and collecting the cargo once it drops. You then had to deliver the cargo to the buyer, and this is where things got really mixy. I genuinely thought the mission was completed after this, but another cutscene happened and you will see the Titan 250D, which is the new aircraft, completely destroyed and wiped out all of the buyers. Because of the way this happened and the text alert that you guys get saying that the cargo was destroyed, you'll probably think that the mission was failed or something, but this is actually meant to happen, so that is all good to know. That was the initial setup mission, so the next setup mission is now available at the hangar. You'll also notice while setting this up, it is really similar in its layout to the Clucking Bell Farm raid, so it has a bunch of setups with the final setup being the finale. For this next setup mission, which will be the second setup, you have to go over to this sort of location, and there is a temporary landing strip, and I think this is really cool from Rockstar because you guys will be able to find this in free mode sessions now. In this one, we had to steal a Mogul and deliver it back to the hangar after doing some other things. As a solo player, this was not too hard. I just used my Heavy Sniper Mark II to wipe most of the enemies first. When this was done, I could then take one of the Moguls, evade all of the jets pursuing me. We also had to do this sort of side quest thing where we had to use the bombs to destroy the Eberhard bases. After doing that, I could then deliver the Mogul, and at this point you guys have a choice to go back and steal another Mogul. If you guys want to do that and have the time to do it, I would recommend doing this because it will add a value to your overall payout. Unfortunately, for my first time playing this, I did not have the effort to do it, and I really just rushed through the whole thing as fast as I could. And on this end screen here, you can see that the additional Moguls were not delivered, so it does track all of this progress. Really nice to see. For the third setup mission, this one was really nice as well. We had to go over to a drone station and then pilot a drone, hacking into these different servers. One thing that I really like about these drones is that they do have a machine gun, so you can use this to take out some of the enemies to make this a little easier. After some more time, the servers were all hacked. I then had to drive over to a shipwreck and collect the cargo. If you guys play on the next gen consoles or PC, just be very careful because there will be sharks around this area. It really just adds another element to the game. And the last thing to do was deliver this to the hangar. For the next mission, we do have the setup for the Iron Mule. If you guys checked the Warstock website before this, completing this setup as a leader will unlock you guys the trade price. So yeah, I would definitely say it is worth doing. The Iron Mule is just technically a better cargo bob. It is much faster, much more resilient, and it will be able to carry things much easier. Once this setup mission started, I had to plant some jammers, take out the enemies when they got too close to me. Once all the jammers were planted, I then had to eliminate the Eberhard assets, which were just the helicopters which kept coming in. To make this much easier, I just pulled out this insurgent and used the turret. Once these helicopters were defeated, the Iron Mules all landed on me. We then got to use the jammer equipment that we planted, and then I could actually just get in one of these Iron Mules and deliver it to the airfield. At this point, I decided to collect the insurgent, and you'll see just how easy this was to collect. The Iron Mule just did not struggle whatsoever. It also is a pretty fast helicopter, all things considered, and delivering this insurgent will actually get you guys a little bonus when you get around to the finale. This was also one of them missions where if you collected additional Iron Mules, you would of course get another bonus. As you will see there, I did not deliver any extra ones, but I did collect the insurgent, so that did count. The next mission that we have is the second to last one, called Ammunition. In this one, we are technically just using the Iron Mule to collect various things for the finale. I really did like this mission. It was really different to what we have played before in GTA. You get to drop bombs from the Iron Mule by collecting them, and very similar to the last mission, there are some additional things that you can collect if you want to. For example, there is some Mogul upgrades, which will make the last mission substantially easier. There is of course the ammunition for the Titan Titan 250D, which is essential. There is heavy armor and also a bonus weapon crate. In this mission specifically, I would actually recommend trying to get everything. The only thing that I did not collect was the heavy armor, and it would have helped me massively. Once this was finished, we are now on to the finale. I decided to get straight into this Mogul with Oscar, and because of the Mogul upgrades that I collected in the previous mission, we can use this gun on top and it will make things a lot easier as well. Now this mission can get really sketchy. The first part of it is just us shooting at the Titan, but then a submarine will start firing some homing missiles at you, and you will have to shoot them down if you can. They are extremely hard to shoot, especially just a little bit later in the mission. Luckily, they don't really damage the Mogul too much. After shooting the Titan for a while longer, it eventually lands, and at this point we have to jump out of the Mogul, go over to the Titan, eliminate some enemies, and when you guys have the chance, you want to repair the engine. You will then get this sort of scene where you have to select the different button combinations. I think this is really cool as well. I'm surprised we have not seen this more often. This reminds me of the dispatch work where you guys have to press the D-pad, and I think this is a really cool addition. This is where that heavy armor would have came in super useful for me, because of course doing this completely solo will be really challenging. The enemies will not stop coming. Luckily they don't do too much damage, and after some more time the engine was repaired. We are not even done there, because of course that ammunition that we had to collect in the last mission now needs to be loaded inside the Titan 250D, and similar to the repair, you guys will have to load these things yourself. So when you can and you have eliminated some enemies, just start loading the Titan 250D. I think this is another really cool animation. We have not seen this before. Eventually I got around to filling the ammunition, and now we get the chance to fly the Titan 250D. If you guys played this mission with another player, they could actually pilot some different guns, and I honestly think that these other guns are much better than what you get to use as a pilot. The pilot guns will be 40mm cannons, and you can only shoot 5 of these bullets before you have to reload. I think this is another really cool feature though, because whilst you guys are in this gun as the pilot, the Titan will keep its altitude, which honestly is just really nice, instead of just nosediving or something. I think overall the Titan 250D would be most effective with at least one other player, but even running the mission solo, you can still do this quite easily. After destroying the operation centers, you then have to go back to that submarine that was firing all of them homing launches at you and destroy it with the cannon. This part of the mission was a little bit more difficult, as I had to keep shooting but also turning as well, whilst the submarine was still shooting these annoying homing missiles. Even then it was still relatively easy, and there was still one more thing to destroy, and it was the Ebenhard train. This train has a bunch of equipment. This was also quite hard because I had to keep positioning the aircraft, and just like before, once it was done, I just had to deliver the Titan 250D to Mackenzie Airfield. Now that that is done, the hull missions are completed. Because I did not collect all of the extra stuff, you will see that the payout I got was just over $500,000. You can also see it on this mission past screen, where it takes into account what you guys have done. So the setup Mogul was one of the bonuses, the iron mules as well, and also the ammunition. So if you guys can, definitely try and do these extra things. You will see I only picked up the insurgents and almost all of the ammunition, and this only got me a 12,500 bonus reward. So it looks like the base payout is obviously $500,000, which is really nice, but like I've just mentioned, definitely go for these bonuses to make that extra cash. I definitely think that this is really similar to the Clucking Bell Farm raid. You can also replay this, as you guys can see there, and like I mentioned in the event week video, I would probably recommend running them back to back. Obviously use the Clucking Bell Farm raid first, as that does not require you guys to pay for anything. Save up for this hangar, and then you can play through these missions. Another thing that you can do with the airfield is do these sort of other missions. They are called arms trafficking. I believe you can also call Oscar on your phone and request one from him. I really wanted to test these out, so I did complete one. It did take a little while to complete this though, and I was expecting a payout like $100,000. After I did get through this, you'll see I only got a payout of $40,000, and I was actually quite surprised, but still I think this is a pretty nice bonus you guys could do as well. Maybe if you guys get bored of them or something, and if this does get a bonus money on one of the event weeks, I still think it could be really nice, making $80,000 from these things. So yeah guys, altogether, what do you think about these new missions? I like them a lot, and I will be playing it on the PC account that I have, especially with that new PC update with the HSW upgrades. I think it will be really fun. So yeah guys, if this video helped you out in any way, shape or form with these type of missions, make sure to leave a like. I always appreciate your support, and if you guys are new here and like what you see, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.